We're shifting focus for now. When on the 24th of February 2020, Russian tanks rolled into Ukraine, it was the general belief that the capital, Kiev, would soon fall and the rest of the country would follow the plight. It's been 1,000 days since, and the war still rages on. Last month, in fact, the Wall Street Journal, citing intelligence and undisclosed sources, reported that about 1 million Ukrainians and Russians have been killed or injured since the war started. The majority of dead are soldiers on both sides, followed by Ukrainian civilians. In fact, the UN says at least 11,700 Ukrainian civilians have been killed, 24,600 others injured. Also, more than 6 million Ukrainians have fled abroad, while nearly 4 million remain internally displaced. The United Nations estimating Ukraine's population has shrunk by 10 million, a quarter of its pre-war total. Neither side seems eager to negotiate, and things continue to be grim as far as the battlefield is concerned. Russia is expending huge amounts of weaponry and human life to make small but steady territorial gains to the nearly one-fifth of Ukraine it controls. On the other hand, Ukraine is struggling to minimize the losses, maintain morale, and convince allies that with more military aid, it can turn things around. If we discuss the action on the battlefield, in February 2024, Ukraine lost Avdiivka, a city in Donetsk region that it has been defending since long before the invasion. The fall of Avdiivka created a major breach in Ukraine's defenses when Russia later mounted an assault on the northeastern city of Kharkiv. Ukrainian troops were stretched further. A bright spot for Ukraine came in August when it launched a surprise incursion into Russia. It took and still holds hundreds of square kilometers in the Kursk region. However, it did not stop the Russian forces from taking more land in Ukraine's east. On October 1, Russia occupied the town of Vuhledar. And with this, Russia now roughly occupies a fifth of Ukraine, an area comparable to Greece. To keep the war going, Ukraine has repeatedly asked the West for help. In a big boost, in fact, U.S. authorized Ukraine to use long-range missiles within the Russian territory, according to two White House officials. However, U.S. State Department has denied confirming the same. Washington has provided more than $64 billion in military aid to Ukraine since the beginning of the war. After the U.S., Germany is Ukraine's biggest source of military aid with $11.4 billion given so far. UK stands next, having given $9.9 billion. Like Ukraine, Russia has also turned to allies for help. Russia is receiving drones and possibly missiles from Iran and ammunition and even troops from North Korea who have been deployed to the Kursk region. What direction the war takes next will depend largely on how the incoming Trump administration plays its hand. Trump, in fact, has consistently said his priority is to end the war. That too in a day, but is yet to divulge how exactly he intends to do so. During his only campaign debate with Vice President Kamala Harris, Trump twice refused to directly answer whether or not he wanted Ukraine to win, raising concerns that Kiev could be forced to accept unfavorable terms in any negotiations.